Welcome to Google Classroom to Save the Earth. Here is going to be a, hopefully, as brief as I can make it, overview of the features and tools you have available for your use with Google Classroom. From here, you want to think about what do I like, what do I think I can use, and then effectively implement it in your classroom. If you're not comfortable with something, it's never a good idea just to try to use it just because. So if you see something you like, please take note, and then you can slowly work yourself up to using it effectively. So when you get on Google Classroom, as you see, I already have classes, but if you don't have one, you'll click the plus sign up here in the top right-hand corner. This will give you the ability to join and create classes. Now, if the create class option does not work, you're currently blocked by the district from creating classes. You'll need to email Patrick O'Neill or give, again, Patrick O'Neill a call for him to unblock you and give you that permission and so that you can create a class. On the section part, after you give it your name, on the section part now, I teach 3 sections of math, or I did last year. So I had first period, second period, and third period that I named so that I could kind of keep myself organized. You don't want all of your students to be in one classroom if you have like 60 or 80 students in one subject because they're going to submit all their assignments when it comes to grading them, going back and forth and skyward. That's never fun. So creating different sections of the same class is always a great way to stay organized. Now after you create the class and get it going, you're going to need to allow, give your students time to log in, or you can do it for them. Now, if you want to do it for them, there's an invite button under the Students tab for you to invite your students. All you have to do is type in their name, their school email comes up, and it will give them the opportunity to join your class. Once they go to Google Classroom, your class will be there. All they have to do is click join. Now, the easier thing to do is in class, give them this code on the screen. When they go to Google Classroom, instead of clicking create class, they can click join class, type in this code, and then they will be in. Once you get your students in, make sure you set an appropriate level of restrictions according to what your students are ready for. Teaching 4th grade, if I just give them free reign of the site and let them comment and post, I'm going to get 1,000 comments of, hey, what's up? What are you doing? How are you doing today? Hey, with a little fire symbol. I don't want to get 1,000 emails with students saying, hey, so I usually put only teacher can post or comment at the very beginning of the year, and then I allow them to get more privilege throughout the year after we've had some technology safety and responsibility lessons. Now, after that's set up, you have your restrictions set. You selected the theme that you want, do all that fun stuff. Then you're going to actually start creating assignments for your students to do. That button's right here in the bottom right-hand corner. You have 4 options. You can just make a quick announcement. You can give them a quick question. You can redo a post after you start making posts, but primarily you're going to want to create assignments. Title it, and then make sure after you title it, you give them instructions. Anything that they're going to need to know to complete the assignment, maybe a specific order, specific steps, or just reminders to have them best complete the assignment, you put those instructions here, and they will see it. It's a good job to have a lesson on. If I give you instructions, it's a good idea to read them. Then you can set a due date. If it's a extra credit assignment, something that you want to make available for them year-round, you can take away the due date. It's not going to really affect much, but if you do want to give them an assignment and you want them to be able to finish at a certain time before they go home, you can set the day and the time. This will allow you to see which students are turning in the assignment late and which students are turning it in on time. Next, like I said, I had 3 sections of math. Now it would be very tedious if I had to go in and assign all the links and Google Docs and all that stuff 3 different times. So it has a great option of letting you select to add this assignment once to all 3, 4, 5 classes that you have. Now make sure you do this before you click the assign button. If you assign it, this option will go away. You cannot go back in and edit it and select multiple classes. After you've done that, now it's getting to the good stuff, adding the actual content. This symbol right here is for YouTube. It's great. You don't have to have a specific video already picked. If you kind of know what video you're looking for, you can search it, and different videos and options come up for you to choose. And you can add 1, 2, however many videos you want to add. Now, there's no point in adding a video for an assignment they're going to do at school because YouTube is blocked on all the Chromebooks and student laptops. They do not have the ability to watch YouTube videos at school. But if it's an assignment for at home, then they be able to watch it on their home computer. Second option is you can add links. I use my Google Classroom. I do a lot of different websites. I use Quizlet. I use Socrative. I use Nearpod. I use Blindspace, Prodigy, ThinkThroughMath. There's a lot of different Shepherd software. There's a lot of different sites I want them to go through. And instead of having them specifically know how to type in and spell each of those, because I get tired of telling students how to spell the word multiplication so that they can go to multiplication.com, I just copy and paste whatever link I want them to go to into the link tab, and then it takes them directly there. It takes them right to where I want them to go to. They don't need to know how to spell Kahoot.it. It takes them right to where I want them to go. Now, the two options left are adding files from your computer. They can't do much with the files from your computer. They're really just going to be able to view them, like a star chart, a picture, maybe a paragraph you want them to read. They can't write, draw, or do much with that document. But I attached my star chart from my computer to multiple assignments this year. Now, what you're primarily going to use on Google Classroom, other than the links and videos, is actually using your Google Docs. The different assignments you have for them to do. Right here we have an assignment on tape diagrams to where they got on. It was a Google drawing, and they were able to draw the tape diagram that went with the word problem. Now, 3 things, after you add a Google Doc, 3 things you can do with it. They can just look at it. Maybe it's notes, maybe it's a picture or a diagram you want them to be able to view, and you can have them just view it. Maybe you want to do a collaborative blog or something where the students can communicate with each other and talk to each other, so you can make it to where all students can edit one file. It depends on what the assignment's for, but just realize if you say students can edit file, all students can delete, add, post, and write whatever they want. You'll be able to see it and keep track of it, but they have the power to do that. What I usually use my assignments for is I make a copy for each of them. They're getting the Google drawing I made. They're getting a copy of it, and after I give them a copy of it, their name's going to be attached to it, so it helps me keep track of who's doing what. So I usually have them make a copy for each student. You can add other things. You can add the Excel sheets. You can add drawings, docs. You can add whatever you need to add and give them the same permissions. The only Google Doc that does not let you share is a form. You cannot share a form with them. If you want to give them a Google form, you'll have to copy and paste the link into the link section. So that's kind of the tools that you have at your disposal to create assignments for your students to do. Once you're done, you click Assign, and now it has been sent to all the students in all 4 classes that you selected. Now, last thing, you have created your classroom, you have created assignments, your students are currently doing the assignments and turning them in. So now you can look at what they're doing. If you look at my screen, you see that these kids have said done. They have finished the assignment, and they went in, and there's a little button that says turn in assignment, and they have turned it in. They've actually went in and typed the answers that I wanted them to type and answer them, whether it be on paper or be on this doc, but they literally can type in their answers, and I will see it. And you'll be able to see it in real time. So as they work on their docs, whether it be a Google Doc, drawing, or Excel sheet, you'll be able to see what they're doing to see if they're doing it correctly. And then, if a student turns it in late, they don't finish. If they turn it in after the due date, it'll have late pop up. And the best thing is if a student never opens it, it won't just say late. It won't like it will show that it wasn't even opened if they didn't even attempt to do it. So if you're using the Google Docs for homework, you'll know which students attempted to finish the assignment and which students didn't even open it up. And then you can add grades. You can add grades to the assignment to give back to them to let them know how they did, and also let them know if you would like them to redo it. And that kind of in a nutshell is Google Classroom. There's more to it, a little bit more tricks and stuff for it. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask.